What is up? Sorry for the slight delay in starting up today. Had my computer on for like the past 4 days. Been downloading and running tests and all other fun things there. My computer's getting a little sluggish from being on that long and doing too many crazy things, so I figured it'd be good to restart. And I realized this like 3 or 4 minutes before I was about to start my usual prep, so I'm like, well, it should take about 5 minutes, so I'll just delay stream by that long. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see y'all if you're out there lurking and hanging out. Plan so far tonight for stream is to complete Mega Man X3 and then go on to Control. I really love that game. I'm doing my second playthrough here on stream. It's still highly recommended you get the PC version. Just suck it up and buy it from the Epic Game Store or pirate it. I don't care. But either way, it's great. It's a lot of fun. And then a little bit later, I'll be talking about what future games I want to do on the stream as well. Let's see. Let's switch over to this. Okay, so yeah, Mega Man XXX. Well, it could have been like that. What was it? Dave Mirra's BMX XXX. That was just a total travesty. I know this is not fitting on the screen right. Normally, I play RetroArch with a smaller screen when I stream, so I can see everything clearly. But I just want to have like a bigger screen because my eyes have been bugging me for the past week with my light sensitivity and stuff and straining them, so I definitely don't want to have eye strain problems. So I'm making, instead of using like my 2x, which is normally a little smaller, I'm going to make it like bigger, like 3x window size. Make it a little bit easier for myself. Let's see, centered screen. That looks pretty good. Looks like it's all fitting. Excellent. Yes. Gives new meaning to the word Mega Blaster, I guess. Alright, and also another thing I did with this game, I was testing out other stuff, pardon me, was I finally went into the shaders. Something about this game has been really bugging me is how everything by default in RetroArch looks kind of smooth. It's got like some interpolation smoothing or some kind of filter on it by default. And RetroArch comes with like a whole crap ton of different filters you can put onto the games and make them look better. So the one I did was Pixelate, which basically makes it look like it's supposed to look like, you know, jagged pixels, and it doesn't have that smooth over look. It's what it looks like if you play it on a CRT minus the scan lines, so I'm happy I finally found that one, because there's like a whole sea of filters you have available to you in the system. Let's see, centered screen, there we go. Okay. Let's see, load state. Still seems a little loud for me. So this is with the filter on. You have the full pixels and everything. Actually, this is what I've been looking for the longest time, because let's see here. I actually have it set for the default, so everything for SNES 9X core will automatically put this on, which is nice. Latency, put that back on because I was playing with different emulators. One, perfect. All right, right where we're supposed to be, because it's normally supposed to look, or by default, where are they? Shaders. And this is what it looks like by default. It's got that kind of blurry look to it. I'm not really that big of a fan. Kept thinking, like, why doesn't it look like what I remember it to be looking like? Or if I run it through my RetroArch, it's like, oh yeah, okay, well, let's get that back on here, and that's how it's supposed to look. And to this date, I have not really found a scanline filter that I like. With one exception. That would be EPSXE has a really good scanline filter. It actually looks good. Doesn't look like garbage. Doesn't dim your screen either. You don't have to worry about brightness controls or anything else. It is how it's supposed to be. Sorry, I'm playing with my headphone music again, and here we go. But that's pretty much like the only thing I like about EPSXE these days, really, to be honest. I guess like RetroArch just kind of spoiled me for just compatibility and how things play overall, just like being right. But Nefin is like the other one you definitely want to do because, I mean, we're talking like hardcore accuracy there. Oh, and we're off to a great start. The stream is going well. And last night I was actually having fun. I was playing Circle of the Moon, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which is a Game Boy Advance Castlevania game. And that game kind of gets overlooked because a lot of people like Aria of Sorrow, and which I love. I love that game too. I think it's one of the best Metroidvania-style games for Castlevania. By far. This is why I hate this level. But it's a lot of fun. I was playing it through it. There turns out the last time I streamed it was sometime last year. And I actually had a speedrunner who plays that game in my stream. He was like telling me some stuff I didn't know about, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. It's like there's this like really easy to pull off glitch because it has a card system for like power-ups. Like you combine like a element card with like an ability, and if you can turn it on, you get that stats, and you have to find these cards which just randomly drop. Oh, this level's gonna be the death of me. This is the level I hated the most, by far. It's just, it always frustrated the hell out of me. These stupid spikes at the start. But anyway, the Circle of the Moon glitch is like ridiculously easy to pull off, so you don't even have to have all the cards. You just have to have like at least two, like one of the abilities and one of the activator cards, and then you're all set. Because you hit the one you have, you turn it on, and you have like a 2-second window just to hit the start button. It's not like this frame perfect thing. It's just like turn it on, hit the button, press start, like at that speed. Then you go and change the cards to wherever you want to be, even if they're max out, like they're grayed out, you don't have it. Unpause, and you have that ability activated. So you can really cheese out certain areas with, like, if you know a boss is weak to like lightning, you can do the glitch and turn on the lightning. Aha! Slight progress. Again! So I don't know what it is, but this stage just always wrecked me. I mean, back when I was like pretty decent at this game, you know, this was always the one where it's like, oh, I have my lives, and they're gonna get all just destroyed. So Ronnie, I didn't get like I know you said you found the ocean, but what, like for Dragon Ball Z, the ocean dubs, but like is it like a torrent you found, or is it like a site where they have them? So I'm just kind of curious to see like where you got them so far, or where you found it. Okay, I'm going to have to turn up the latency by one more, which is going to throw me off. But it keeps eating that last jump, which is why, like, you see me make contact with the wall, and then, like, I just keep falling down. For whatever reason, it's eating that input, which is driving me nuts. So let's try it this way here. Let's kicking up the latency even more so it has more priority. Thanks, I needed that. Literally. Alright. Finally. I tried to do it again, but was like, nope, got past it that time. So we're going to do a save state. If you're new to my stream, get used to it. I abuse the hell out of save states, because I haven't played a lot of these games in a very long time. And two, I've never claimed to be good. I was better at this game, but I wasn't excellent. I wasn't like speedrunner or anything crazy. Because back then, speedrunning really wasn't a thing. It kind of was, but it didn't have a name, you know, nobody... There wasn't official leaderboards for it or anything like that. That's a safer spot to save. Come back down. Okay, it just went to the Phantom Zone? Shadow Realm? Whatever you want to call it? That was unexpected. For me. Thanks, I've come to help you. I'll stop the collapsing ceiling, you destroy that junk robot. It's always amazing how Zero stops it right as I kill that guy. Next, there is an army of powerful Mavericks in Dr. Doppler's lab. They've been modified by Dr. Doppler into war machines. Be careful. I'll watch my step. Thanks, Zero. I'm going to scout around. I'll catch up later. Come on, let's quit eating frames. There we go. Unfortunately with this thing, like the jump is really wonky because there's actually a down frame animation, so if you just tap it like you normally would, you just do that. So you gotta like hold it down slightly longer than you used to, and there's also recovery too. So it's like you can't take off again immediately like you can like fast hops like doing that. That's not a thing you can do in these robots. It's like you just end up doing this. I hit it twice and it doesn't do it the second jump, so it's a little bit different. I guess they wanted to get that like heavy feeling, like you're really in a mech type deal, I guess. Let's see. One of these doors I actually need to switch to X and have him fight. I'm not sure if this is the one or not, so we're gonna find out. The reason why you want X to fight is... Actually not X, 0 is what I mean. Because he takes down the boss, but he still dies. But when he does, like, he gets critically wounded. He's like, I have to get out of here, take my sword. It's like, thank you, that's what I want. But it only happens if you use them at that point, to my knowledge. Alright, there's gotta be a faster way to kill this guy. I'm gonna look it up. It's like, screw that. Let's see. And you got nothing, alright. Mega Man X3 through other stages. Aha, okay, well, good thing I did look that up because I learned that I missed the chips I was looking for. Alright, so I gotta kill myself. Let's see, how far off was I? This is it. Okay, good. So actually, I wasn't that far off. Okay, cool. I need to have full health. I think I can just do it with just energy tank. So I thought it was later on. Nope, here it is. Cool. So this is what I was looking for. Saban Dub has a weird history. It does. Holy crap! Okay, so I just looked over and saw what you typed there. Hefty torrent download 55 gigs. Oh. Okay, so as I mentioned, I like to pirate games. I pretty much use them as a test drive. So I tried Gears of War 5. It's alright. It's like... It's Gears of War. It hasn't really changed. I mean, it looks well. It runs really well on my computer. I'm happy on that. I have like high settings. It looks great. But that was like 35 gigs that I downloaded from somebody who repacked it, basically compressed it better, because uncompressed, if you buy it through like the Windows Store or whatever Xbox has, it's like 60. I've never played Gears of War 4 because I don't have an Xbox One, and 2, nobody really cared for the PC version, so it never got repacked down by any type of pirate group, so that thing is like 115 gigabyte download. Screw that. So it's like, for like 55 gigs, it's like, good lord, that's like bigger than some games these days that come out for release. Alright, enough of that here. Install this chip to enhance all your parts. Situation should now be improved. Good luck, X. And for the record, I have I uninstalled Gears of War 5 and deleted it from my computer, and it's on my things to buy someday if it goes on sale. So now I have, I think, double air dash? Yes, so... I forgot what everything else also entails. Let's see what the upgrades were. Upgrades... Oh, that's right, I also recover health just by standing still. So when you hear that beeping, it's actually refilling my energy tank slowly. Like, this one here would slowly be adding in So the body chip, let's see, arm chip. Charge up your X-Buster. Have that one. I'm just looking for like the different chips here. It doesn't say. Okay, so recharges health and sub-tanks by standing still. All damage inflicted cut by 50%. Use an upgrade. Orange barrier, defense barrier lasts a full 5 seconds after X gets damaged and cut an additional 75% while active. So, 5 seconds of iframes, basically. And then, you know, after that kind of wears off, is all that protection shield for another 75% damage reduction. Hypercharge X gigas attack allows unlimited crossover charge shots no longer... Oh, as long as the weapon has energy. Cool, okay. So one of the fun things is... you can turn this bad boy on for, like, boss fights. And you just keep doing, like, the big massive stuff, as long as you have, like, energy to do it. You know, because it does take energy, so that's kind of cool, because that got added in, too, with this chip. And dash twice in midair. So it's basically, like, the game forces you to choose one of them, and then, like... 1 out of 4, and you have to pick it there, or you can just do everything right you need here and get all of them at the end. So you played the first Gears of War, honestly, good, not a bad game. Really isn't all that remarkable either. It was alright, it was really groundbreaking for the time it came out. It was, like, pretty cool. But they haven't really changed the formula, but I don't really think they really need to, because, I mean, if it's not broke, don't change it. But if you played the first game, you know what you're kind of getting into. Pardon me, it had a decent story. But yeah, they're not bad. I remember playing Gears of War, the original one on the Xbox 360. Oh my gosh, I have a story about that. I was playing with my friend Peter, which is kind of funny because he didn't understand the whole taking cover situation thing. He was like, so we'd play like co-op. Like he never got like, okay, you want to duck behind these things and take pot shots and move around, try to outflank your enemies. So like what he would do is like, he would just walk around with the shotgun, just like, he wouldn't run, he'd just walk up to people, so I would cover him. I'd like be firing shots over the computer's head to keep it down. He'd just walk up and just like shotgun him right in the face, one hit kill, and that was his playstyle, is like just walk up and be the executioner. But originally, when Gears of War came out, I was working at Walmart. This is back up in New Hampshire. I just bought I bought an HD TV also the day that came out, just for Gears of War, okay? This is back when HD TVs were still relatively new, and I bought this big humongous tube freaking monster. Get it home, I get Gears of War like a week early than I'm supposed to, because Walmart hadn't fully implemented the lockout at register situation where it's supposed to detect that this game has been flagged, don't sell it early. And so I get it home, plug in the TV, it looks great. I start up Gears of War, I get to the logo screen, like press start, and then my 360 just locks. I'm like, what's going on? Why is this happening? I restart it, and I got the Red Ring of Death. It was the first time I ever got the Red Ring of Death. So I had an HD TV, brand new HD TV, got the game a week early, and I couldn't play it. And when I called up Microsoft, they're like, yeah, we can get you a replacement 360. It's actually turned out it was one of the first to come off the assembly lines. So when the 360 first launched, they had a massive failure rate, and I don't know why they didn't do it, because it's like literally why they didn't delay it, because it came back to bite them in the butt. They had a 97% failure rate. So every 100 Xbox 360s that come off the assembly lines, 3 worked. I had one of the 3 that worked. And it turns out it was like one of the first batches to come off the assembly line. So that was kind of a cool fact to learn about my dead bricked Red Ring of Death 360 I had. So they're like, yeah, we can get you a new one, but it's going to be 2 weeks. I'm like, ah, crap. So, like, the next day I go to work. My coworker's like, how's the game? How is it? I'm like, I can't play it. I got red ringed. It was like, and nobody else I worked with had an Xbox 360 because I have a feeling they would have invited me over to play it. But yeah, so then I had to spend a whole week about hearing about other people playing it and having a great time. Not me. Alright, so I never really looked up how to beat this guy. Let's do that. This basically is a replacement character because like I killed Bit and Bite earlier, so normally you don't fight this guy. Let's see. These are your two bosses. Ray Splasher. That's not gonna work. That's gonna go all over the place. How about Tornado Fang? That'd be better. Played first gears. Yeah, okay, cool. Off to a great start already. Alright. Oh man, slow down. Back up there. It's like, what am I doing? I have double dash now. Which means I can die just as fast. And it feels like coming out and working. Oh my god, the slowdown! I don't know what it is, but this is like eating half my inputs. Like right there, I hit the gun button. What the hell is going on? Let me try killing RetroArch and bringing it back up, because it's frustrating me to know that like I'm hitting the button and like nothing is coming out when it's supposed to. Let me try it again. RetroArch is pretty good. But it's just, it's buggy as hell right now. It still is, what, like for the first month or so when they release a new version, it tends to be a little bit glitchy. So if you want like a more stable RetroArch, download, if you can find it, 1.7.7. And that was like rock solid, but it doesn't have the features of being able to like dump your own PlayStation or Saturn discs to play them off that way, or even play them directly. Like, you can still play those, but, like, you need to have, like, an ISO. Okay, good, that's finally gone, alright. Dude, come on. Eat jump. There. Good lord. So I mentioned there's some games I want to play on stream. One, tomorrow I'm thinking about doing a Bayonetta 2 speedrun. So it's kind of doing casual. Actually, just, you know, bust at the timer, and it's going to be rusty as hell, but just try it out, you know? Because I haven't done that in a while. I'll probably be playing Bayonetta 2 speedruns again more frequently. I am getting my medication, my pain meds upped. Basically, it's like double from what I already have right now, so it's going to be pretty hardcore. I don't know how it's going to affect me energy-wise, because when I first got fentanyl, it just put me out. Like, I was just exhausted. It took me like a month and a half to adjust to it to be functional. But I won't be able to start that until like the 9th, when they can actually actually fill my new prescription I have, because the DEA watches you like a hawk, especially when you're on fentanyl. Their new whipping boy. So, want to do Bayonetta 2 speedruns again. But I'm also going to be looking to, like, still... Okay, why did you explode and not die? I'm confused. I'm also wanting to finish Control as usual. Like I said, I've been wanting to do that for a while, so I'm playing it again. But also, I plan on playing Grand Theft Auto 5, the PC version, which is like 60 frames a second. Get off me, asshole! Jesus Christ. What the fuck? So yeah, I'll be doing Grand Theft Auto 5, PC version, 60 frames per second. It'll be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's great on PC. So the thing is, like, you know, play it on PC, fully maxed out settings, it looks great, but usually you can't do that if you're streaming, because OBS, turns out, takes a lot of resources. The new codec they use, or new, like, yeah, I think it's codec, or whatever they want to call it, like plugin for NVIDIA, has dramatically reduced down the cost of it. It still sometimes hiccups. Like when I play Control, when I'm not on stream or something, if I play it on normal PC, like I'm not streaming, I have it on medium settings all across the board, 1080p, still running 60 frames a second. It looks gorgeous. When I stream it, I have to turn everything to low, or else it just turns into a slideshow on OBS. It's like, it looks great on my side, like, you know, even like the higher up settings, but like you look through the window or any test streams, it's like 15 frames a second chunking. It's like, oh my god. Ran all my old rig runs beautifully on the current rig. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is I still have my old NVIDIA GTX 960. It's like 4 years old at this point. And even on my old quad-core computer I originally had it on, when the PC version came out, I tried that out, and it ran everything completely maxed, and it looked great, and no slowdown, nothing, rock solid 60. I was like, neat. Uh-oh, wrong one. Fuck. God fucking damn it, come on. Remember these Doppler stages being horseshit, and they are. Completely. So yeah, I am looking forward to playing that. It's going to be like a long game, of course, because it is a really big game. There'll be like a multi-project type stream there, just having fun with it, going crazy. But I actually did like the story of 5 a lot. 4, for me, I did not like. It was a train wreck of a game, in my opinion. It was just completely busted. And that was my big fear about pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto 5 back in the day when it came out. I actually own the PlayStation 3 version, is how I actually originally bought it, because my Xbox 360 I had never replaced after it did the red ring for the 3rd time. Pardon me. And Microsoft's like, we're not, you know, like, we can fix it for you. There's gonna be a fee. I'm like, well, what's the fee? Because you used to replace them for free. Like, well, it's $160, and that's why I told them to shove it up their butt sideways. Because the new Xbox 360 at the time cost $200. So I didn't have a 360 for a couple of years. Got one about 2 years ago, again. With like it's a Xbox 360e model. He has an Edward or Echo, which has like half of it's a big giant fan to keep it cool. But yeah, so I have it on PS3, and I was thinking, oh man, I haven't heard anybody talk about it because no one ever brings up, usually a lot of times, the problems that Grand Theft Auto 4 had, other than like 2.5 hours of like, hey cousin, let's go bowling, let's go on a date, let's drive a taxi cab. It's like, I want to kill people. You know, it's like, good lord. I hate this damn... What are you doing? No! It's like, do you want to change your mech? No, I want to get off the damn platform. Thank you. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4, big problems with story and pacing, and the driving is completely busted in that game. And like, no one really talks about it at all, which I find frustrating. It is like completely busted. The point where like you're trying to, thanks, I don't know what the hell it is, but it is like eating my inputs left and right. Guess maybe I'll have to turn off the latency on it. It's just, something's going on with it. But, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4, the driving is completely broken, and you have to do, like, several chase missions, one after the other. Okay, so you just can't take this mech with you at all. Ate the input. Alright, this is like the almost unwieldy mech you ever have this entire game to start with. Alright, so screw the mech. It's not worth the headache it's giving me for it. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4 is just completely broken for driving mechanics, and like as soon as you like start to turn, your wheels lock up. It's crazy. So it's like you hit the brake, and you literally just go like slamming into whatever it is you're trying to avoid. And you have to try to like do all these driving missions, and you can't do them. It's like, how did anyone get far in this game? How did anyone beat it? Is this just completely bonkers? It's like you tap the brakes and your wheels lock, and you just go plowing into whatever's in front of you. You're like, try the e-brake. It's like, I've tried that. It's the same thing. Your car goes sideways, you keep going forward. It's like you're driving on ice. And that completely ruined it for me. I was like, oh my god. Okay, so this is the one I want to use. X4 or 0. Let's see. There we go. I had to find the right button for it. So thankfully, Grand Theft Auto 5 did not have that problem. The driving was actually really super sensitive. It took some time getting used to a little bit at first. Like the first mission, it's like, don't damage the car. Like, I'm smashing everything unintentionally. It's like, oops. Okay. See if that's maybe the problem. I'm trying to figure out like what the hell is going on with my controls. It's like I've gotten this far in the game without too much problem, and all of a sudden it's like controls are going haywire tonight. Hey, I managed to hit him. It just like, it skips a couple frames of grab you. This is crazy. I don't remember this fight being this jank years ago. Okay, there we go. Finally, he's down. So this is what I was trying to do and failing repeatedly for the last like couple minutes you've seen. You defeat him with X, you still quote-unquote, or 0. I keep saying X, I don't know why. So you get knocked down to 1 health bar, and then he's like, hey, dude, I'm like too screwed up. I was drinking too much. Take my sword, bro. I failed. Seems my power generator is damaged. I'll try to make it back to Dr. Kane's lab for repairs. You can't tell what is waiting for you, X. You better take my beam, Saber. Saber, I know what it is. Crush them all, X, you're our last hope. Save me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright, let's get this back up here. Okay. Zip. I'm afraid of what comes next. I think it's like a bunch of stupid snails on spikes. You have to like make this long climb up. It's just, these levels are just frustration. I think the sword will one-hit kill him, too. Nope, just does a lot of damage. Oh, yeah. I was afraid. I hate this part. Oh, man. I completely forgot about these levels. If I had remembered that these levels were in here, I probably would not have, like, said, like, hey, I'm gonna play X3 as well. It's like, oh, man. That's why I hate it. That was too close. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I love this weapon. It's half the life done in one hit. It's no Hadouken, it's no Shoryuken, and I'm still bummed that this game didn't have anything from Street Fighter in it, like Hurricane Kick was the natural progression of the order. Hell, even a spinning star kick or a spinning bird kick or whatever that was called, Chun-Li flipping upside down. You know, that would have been cool, but no, they dropped the ball. Okay, I think this is the boss fights now, like the usual 8, I think. Yep. Gravity well, there it is. I'm like, where is it? Oh, okay. Didn't mean to hit that right now, but that happened. Just going to this one. Blizzard Buffalo. I'm not sure what he's weak against, to be honest, because I always fought him with the X-Buster. Oh, it didn't fall for it. Game, I need you to work with me here. For some reason, the trick isn't working here. Like the, there we go. Yeah. Hey, Pat, what's up? Yeah, you're the only person I know who's done that. Didn't you also beat this game with, like, no, like, yeah, like, with just the X-Buster as well? On top of no upgrades? Because I know you did it without upgrades, but I can't remember if you also did it with just straight X-Buster. Which is already insane, and I've been abusing the hell out of save states. And the gold armor! Faster! Yay! separate runs, X-Buster, but with upgrades. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, just X-Buster and, like, no upgrades would just be absolutely way too crazy. Tornado Fang. Zippity Zop. Oops. Messed that up. Not surprising. Now I remember the rhythm. Yeah, I had somebody like a T Wallace 123. He's like, "When are you gonna play X7?" I'm like, "Never." I mean, Burn to the Ground is entertaining and all, but no thanks. Pretty sure somebody's made a 10-hour loop of that too. That would not surprise me at this point. YouTube being what it is. When it's not busy being censored and copyright struck to oblivion. Yeah. X7 is just... Like, I tried it in emulation because it runs perfectly on emulator. And I tried it out like about 2 years ago. I'm like, yeah, I can see why the series died completely with this game. I fully understand now. Yeah, I remember it was run at a GDQ. Gosh, what was this guy? I think he was... He's back! In Pog form? It's the Beetle. Oh, gosh. Yeah, exactly. It's on mobile. Like, everyone's like, yeah, new Mega Man game. It's like, mobile game. Crap. It's like, yeah. It's like Monkey's Paw situation. Okay, that wasn't it. Crap. What is his? I think it's maybe Raid? That's the one. Because, I mean, everybody knows, like, how well mobile games control. Like, why don't you just get a Bluetooth controller and sync it up? It's like, that's defeating the purpose, really. If you were to ask me, a internet nobody. I'm just wondering, like, how monetized it's going to be. That's, like, my other pondering question about it. Because you know it's going to be microtransaction to hell and back. It has to be. Pretty much all mobile games are now. And people are acting all surprised with the new Ubisoft game. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's what was it, Ghost Recon. It's like, it's buggy and unfinished. I'm like, yeah, of course it is. And it's like, it's microtransactions nonstop. And what's your point? Like, of course it is. I always had problems fighting this guy. By the way, everybody, Patrick here is, I was mentioning, like, how I used to own this game, but I sold it to somebody. That's the guy. He turned out to be a good investment. Back when I used to sell games and was a bigger idiot than I am now. I'm a bigger idiot still, but I'm just older. Alright, there we go. Now he's dead. One of the fun things I like to do on my streams is like point out like how expensive games are now. It's like, yeah, this game, and you know, you used to be able to buy the Japanese version for $20. Rockman X3 is still pretty cheap, around 20 bucks, and it's like American version is 175 to 230 on average these days. If you have a complete box set, good lord, who knows how much that goes for? I think it's around $400 to $500. My favorite though is I saw a guy or gal selling a repro cart, clearly marked repro cart of like Mega Man X1, 2, and 3 on the same cartridge for like 150 bucks. It's like, this is X3 and it contains, it's so rare, it's like, it's a repro cart, dude. It's not that expensive. Okay, so that, I think it's the last one? Nope, almost last one. Oops. I don't know why I didn't see that one coming. Well, I stopped trying to be fancy and do it the other way. It's like, just jump and shoot him. Jump and shoot, man! I'm trying to think, like, what was the most useless Mega Man upgrade, like, or weapon you get. And I'm including Mega Man the original series and also like the X series as well. I would have to say the top spin. I think it was Mega Man X, no, not Mega Man X, Mega Man 3. The top spin. It's like you just start spinning in place. It's like, how is this useful? You can tell like the developers as well. They're like, well, crap, we have this weapon in, nobody uses it. Let's make it like one of the things that kill Wily at the very end, because no one's touched this weapon at all. It's useless. I think this was Talk to Seahorses. Yeah. So now we're on to the Doppler. It's hoping to give me like energy refills for the weapons. There we go. Alright. It's probably save state. I guess that's what I do, like crazy. Let's see. The trope that Wily's weakness is hard to use. Okay, let me try reading that again. It is a trope that Wily's weakness is a hard to use and weak weapon. Yeah, it seems to be like almost every game. It's never anything that's going to be useful to anyone in existence. It's like, oh, here's the weapon that lets you, curl in the fetal position and cry your eyes out over your long lost love. And for whatever reason, that just kills the final boss. Like, Wily just goes down like, oh, I can't take your sadness. Mega Man pays his taxes. Like, oh, how did you know my weakness? I really need to bind those keys to something instead of having to do this constantly. I've been waiting for you, X. I'm Dr. Doppler. You haven't had your physical. Turn around, expose your exhaust port, breathe deep. I've been watching your battles closely. Your victories over my men have been most impressive. Any superior Reploids like yourself, X, I offer you the chance to join us. Together we shall build a utopia where the Reploids rule under the watchful eyes of Sigma. Pardon me. Oh no, Sigma! Who could have seen that happening? Another 4 times after this game. Our Lord and Master. No way, Doc. Your schemes end here and now. Perhaps you are not as smart as I once thought. You don't have to be smart when you're able to blow up other robots. Prepare to be ripped apart and be reborn again as part of the new body of Sigma. Oh goody. Let's save state here. He's weak against acid. It's been a while. Yeah, acid's the one. I'm up here. I'm up here. Everybody can do a terrible impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's pretty much required. It's like I'm not trying to heal you intentionally. It's just that I'm not that great of a player. Here we go. I think it's like, is he waiting for me like to throw out my weapon, then just like do an input read and throw up the shield to absorb, or what? You are strong, X. Strong enough to defeat Sigma. I was just like, yeah, I've done it 2 times already. He just doesn't learn, but alright, if you say so. Doppler, can you talk? He's like, clearly, I just said that. Sigma's true form is that of a computer virus. See, nowadays it'd be like a worm or something. It's like his true form is a Bitcoin miner. It's corrupted by him, and I create a horrific new body for him. Where's the body now? It's in the underground hangar of this lab. Don't think Sigma has occupied it yet. No, I'm sure he's there. Don't worry about me. Destroy the body before it is too late. Time is running out. Also, a really good Muse song. Alright. Thanks, Doc. Yay, nothing. Here we go. We meet again, X. Big surprise. It was easy to corrupt that fool Doppler. So, like, in the future, robots don't have, like, antivirus installed or something? Because I'm trying to figure out why this keeps happening repeatedly, and everyone's like, it's fine, just keep building more robots that can potentially take over the world and kill us. I mean, we're doing the same thing, like, you know, if you look at, like, Terminator series and stuff. Like, Japan's like, yeah, we're working on an AI which will be able to take over military functions and launch missiles and strikes for us. It's like, have you not seen Terminator? I know it exists in Japanese. I've seen the Japanese version myself. I would have succeeded if it wasn't for you meddling kids. We're always destined to meet, aren't we, X? Let the eternal struggle begin! Yeah, even the people who built them, they're like, I don't know, I had my eyes closed, man. I'm just amazed that, like, Dr. Light knew where to put all these capsules everywhere. Like, he didn't know that, like... Yeah, the thing is, like, okay, so Dr. Light has these capsules everywhere, because this game takes 100 years after... Like, takes place 100 years after Light dies, because he had to run all the tests to make sure X was safe before unleashing him upon the world, and guess what? Surprise. It's not really. But, so you're going through these things, and he had to know that, like, oh... X is going to need an upgrade. One, you should have put it in to begin with. And two, how did you know that that was going to be where he had to run to fight a boss, a rogue robot? I mean, how did he know it wasn't going to be like a Wendy's parking lot 100 years in the future? It's like, oh, trust me, like a robot's going to hide out here somewhere, and it's like it's a Wendy's parking lot instead, and people are scared because you're like blowing up the cars in the drive-thru. I mean, it's just mayhem. Video games never stand up to rational thought, and this is what I do with my spare time because I'm unemployed. Well done, X, but I'm far stronger than my previous forms. Yeah, X4 capsules are interactive. I forgot entirely about that because I don't like X4. It's like I've beaten it with X and 0, and I'm still like, I don't like the game. Which I know I'm a weirdo. Everyone loves X4, but for me, 1 through 3 were my jams. Alright, well done, X, but I'm far stronger than my previous forms. Behold the power of the ultimate battle body. A battle bot, if you will. It was one of them. Oh my gosh, why is hitting me multiple times? I don't know what it is, but I've been fighting like dropped inputs all night, and it's been really aggravating me. Well, that's the thing, is like everyone loves X4. No one loves X7. I mean, you have to be, if you like X7, you're pretty much going to be like committed to a mental hospital for evaluation, but I didn't like X4. People say it's a great game. For me, I'm just like, pass. Alright, so we'll start with at least full health. So I can't remember what it was about X5, but X5 and 6, if I remember correctly, were tied into each other. Because at the end of X5, you have, like, you defeat this satellite, it's falling into Earth or something like that, and 6 is on a time limit. And that started getting really kind of weird. and I didn't like that at all. And then X7 I didn't play until emulators were able to play it just fine, and then I realized, oh, I didn't miss anything. Oh, X5 was the time limit. Okay, what was 6 then? I don't remember what X6 was. Why is nothing hurting you? Oh yes, that was. I mean, apparently I wiped it out of my memory. Okay, seriously, what the hell? Okay, because you need to hit him in the head. Why are none of my attacks working? Okay, what? Okay, I need to, like, seriously figure out what the hell is going on here, because I'm pretty sure I remember him, like, just, you have to hit him in the head. And then, like, it just decided, like, a chest hit took him, like, hit him. And then it just starts bouncing off everything else. What is going on? Charge shots hit above his head, the vent. So you need to, like... Okay, so are we talking like those little wing things he has, like spoilers above his head? Or like, we talking like those two exhaust vents, like on the very far right side next to his life bar? Yeah, it's, like I said, it's weird, because I remember just being able to, like, shoot him in the head. Yeah, it is above. And block all of them. Dropped inputs. We'll try restarting RetroArch. I don't know what it is, but RetroArch is just really screwing up tonight, and it's really pissing me off. So it's been dropping inputs left and right. And it normally does not have that problem. Okay, this charge shot thing, not that great if you have Zero's Buster, because it keeps trying to charge that up. Well, that's the thing too, is I was having problems before this fight, like even just playing through the normal Doppler stages, it just started eating lots of inputs. Like I was trying to wall jump, and I just hit the wall, and it just dropped straight down, I'm like, and I'm jamming on the jump button, I'm like, what is happening? So, I don't know, it's something with RetroArch tonight. Might need to upgrade to the latest builds. I mean, they put out like nightly builds, so... I guess somebody like at Capcom felt like, you know what, X2, not that hard of a boss fight. Let's make it impossible now. And I have the gold upgrade on top of all this nonsense. Yep, alright. Oh, look at this! I beat the game completely! It may look like a YouTube video, but I actually did it. Look at that! I am great and amazing at this. No, it can't be! Can't even defeat you with this magnificent body? Question mark? Seems to be only one choice now. I'll possess you! The race is on! I like when people put out videos like this and like, I mean, the actual ending and have like subtitles on the bottom. Yes, Mega Man swears in this game. I remember the first time Pat and I beat it, I was at his place. I think I was standing over the night. And we finally beat this game after, like, getting our butts kicked by Sigma for a while. It's like, we stopped here, we're like, did you say damn? We're like, you know, old TVs is the only way to get close. Like, yeah, cool. It's a dead end. Give up, X. I'll possess your body and rule the whole world. I just want to know how you're a functional wireframe in reality. You're Zero. It's you again. How do you like that, Sigma? I picked up an anti-Sigma virus program. Finally, somebody makes an antivirus program. Use it on my beam sabre. Sorry about the delay, X. I thought the program might be the only thing That would work against Sigma. I mean, no one thought to actually run the antivirus program. Malwarebytes doesn't exist either. But someday I will come back for a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe an 8th? No, wait. Just 7th game. X has crushed Sigma's plan once again in slow-moving text. But many questions still occupy his mind. Like, how many boards with a Mongol horde if a Mongol horde got bored? Why must humans fight against Reploids? If you get with a girl who has multiple personalities, is that a three-way? And why must Reploids fight against each other? As X stares at the burning remnants of Doppler's lab, his body trembles from an unknown sorrow. Oh, so they put Data's emotion chip in him. Got it. What does fate have in store for me? He wonders. He can only hope that someday Dr. Light's plan for him will finally be revealed. Unknown to X's destiny has already been decided. To save mankind, he must destroy Zero. Why? We don't know. It will never be brought up again in any of the games. But only time will tell when and why. At least I don't think it was ever brought up why. I mean, Mega Man X4 alludes to like one small cutscene where it's like Zero is built by Dr. Wily. It's like, that's like the big thing, is you're like, duh. But I don't think he ever destroys him. I don't think so, at least. And they just basically, let's see, what is this over here? I think he just loops his video. Let's see what it says. Oh, he gets the beam. Okay, cool. So, desktop off. Yep, that was a video, because I'm still on my fentanyl, my reactions aren't fast enough, and I do not have the level of patience to try to beat this game right now. It's like the way it is. So I still wanted to show the ending at least. I got this far, that's good enough for me. So yeah, the game got beaten absolutely by me. What didn't, played a YouTube video, but whatever. You guys get the idea, so very cool. Yay, Mega Man X3. Alright, so that means I've done X1 through 3. I'm not doing X4 as I've stated before, because I just don't like that game at all. I tried it last year, and even with like heavy save state abuse like I've done like this time, it's just, I can't do that game. It's just not fun for me at all. It's like, it's a chore for me to try to play that game. So we're moving on for that. Talk about future plans. I'm still streaming right now. It's like I'm not stopping the stream or anything, but tomorrow I want to do a Bayonetta 2 speedrun. I haven't done that in a while, so I'll be doing that. Actually, a full legit speedrun timer and everything. Last time I did it kind of just casual in D-Rust, so it's going to be painful again, but when I get my new pain prescription, because it's written for the 9th, you can't fill it before because the whole DEA gets on your butt. So they're actually upping my pain meds, so I should hopefully be able to do more Bayonetta 2 speedruns in the future, get that going again. Let's see, I'm going to switch to control here in just a second. I want to finish that off because I'm doing my second playthrough, but doing it on stream. And also want to do Grand Theft Auto 5, the PC version, which is a glorious 60 frames per second. It's a lot of fun. Played through it all completely, like on the PlayStation 3, 100%ed it. Loved that game. So I figured it's been a while. It's been about 3 years. I think pretty much since it came out, because I marathoned that game when it came out and got everything and had a blast, and played the online when it was before they completely turned it to a microtransaction hell. And that was fun. But yeah, so that's the plans there. Do Bayonetta 2 tomorrow, Control here and there, and also start playing some Grand Theft Auto 5. So let me shut RetroArch down. Adios. Let's bring up Control. Not the DirectX 12 version, because OBS freaks when you do that. So this is a game I still highly recommend. Let me update my channel title real quick when I'm playing. Category, Control. Come on, let me click. Yeah, this game is one I absolutely love. Recommend everybody. If you play it on the PC, I have a pretty middle-of-the-road computer with a 4-year-old graphics card and 1080p settings. You know, not streaming right now because I have to crank everything lower, but 1080p settings on medium, and it still runs 60 frames a second. So, and it is the better one. If you play it on PlayStation 4, even on PlayStation 4 Pro, it still has like frame dips down to like 10 frames per second. It's a nightmare, but PC is pretty stable. Okay, it seems like an okay audio level for stream. Let me up my headphones a little bit. All right, so if you're new to this game, if you've never seen it before, but if you're familiar with the show Fringe, think like if Fringe was turned into a video game. Like all these like crazy things going on, like urban legends and myths and things like that are actually kind of true. Dimensions, like we're inside a house, like inside a building in the middle of downtown New York City that was discovered. It wasn't built. It leads to multiple dimensions, like everything like that. It's a crazy game. So people are like, do you explain it? Not really easily. Alright, 1 second. I gotta do some Twitch maintenance here. It's saying like, hey, your bitrate's a level 4000 across the board. I'm like, no, it's not. Don't you be lying to me. There we go. Now I see variations. Perfect. Okay, back to the game. Yeah, this game is like also like, this is on low settings right now, but if you play it on medium with everything cranked up, physics go crazy. It's like you start pulling up stuff like chunk of the wall. There'll be a lot more particles coming at you, a lot more pebbles scattering around. It gets really crazy. A mailbox. So this is the containment ward where they keep prisoners and possessed items like, let's see, altered world, like events or whatever they call them there. So basically everything is like, it's special here. It's got some kind of power behind it. Like you get the telekinetic ability like I have right here to just start chucking stuff. Because something from another dimension occupied a nuclear launch code disk from Russia, which gives you telekinetic powers if you bind it to yourself. It's a carnival hammer.
Something went wrong with the Bureau's plan to make Dylan the next director. Marshall made it sound like it was all Dylan's fault, but How much of it was what the Bureau did to him? I don't think she's telling me everything.
Hello? Is anyone there?
What are you doing in there?
Oh, thank God. Look, someone has to watch this object at all times, or it deviates. My shift replacement never showed up. Can you help me?
Damn. I can't, I'm sorry. There's an emergency. I'll come back, I promise.
Okay, just don't forget. I can't stare at this thing much longer.
Good, a save point. Excellent. Let's see. Really need to upgrade the grip. Need one more house member. I think I'm going to get one of those items. Basically, there's like entropic echo, remote thoughts. These are things you find throughout the place you're running around, like little upgrade parts here and there. Kill a bad guy, they drop to the floor, you pick them up. So definitely do that. Let's see, what do I have? Yeah, I have... How many projectiles do I have on this? I think it's only 2? Nope, it does all 3, okay. Around here somewhere, they're looking down. Where'd it go? There it is.
Hands in the sky! This isn't over yet!
Possess people to have them fight for you. Okay, good. It's back up now, so I can finally hit him. There we go, he's dead. Yay! Alright, hate those flying ones the most. Get the health. Over here? Okay. So, yes, I remember this place. So I'm about to get a new ability, which is like floating, which is kind of like sort of flying.
That's the object of power. I need to cleanse it.
Totally not hiding loading times, nope. Cleanse the Benikoff TV. So as you can see, everything is now inverted. I am technically on the wall. That's the... Actually, no, I put the stuff up there. Never mind. I was thinking like, oh, everything's inverted around. Not quite. Never mind. Walk towards the light. Going to need... Not this. Here we go. Oh, okay, I've seen that before. Let's see, I need to switch my weapon to Pierce. That should do. What other mods do I have? So that's damage up 15, 31. Headshot damage. Eh. Shield strength. You get a lot of upgrades too, like for your personal modifications. It's not as bad as something like Neo, which was completely overboard, or Mass Effect. It's not that bad of an item up, and you still get a lot of things. Like, here you go, you're later in the game, and you're kicking butt and have all your abilities. Here's a level 1 item that you don't need. So it just takes up all your space, so it's just good to, like, if you know you have a stronger one, like this is, evade cost is 13, this one's 12, just turn it into money. You know, get rid of it, get it out of your slot. Seize speed 34 for 68. Just get rid of this one. So they do maintenance every once in a while. Right now I have energy recovery speed, which is basically like my bar for doing dashings and telekinetic throws, things of that nature. Didn't even affect it. Alright, I guess the computer's like, no, we're not going to have you take them out that soon. None of them, I guess. Okay. So I've been taking control, like you see the X prompt there. If you hold it down, you can grab enemies who are like weakened, and they will like start fighting for you. So they'll start targeting other enemies and take them out. They do have lowered life, and they also die after a certain amount of time. So it's not like they stay up and running around until somebody kills them dead. They have a shortened timer, and you can get upgrades that make that time last longer. It's like, hey, we have another mission you can do. I'm kind of busy right now. Those blue things on the ground are health you can pick up. But of course, it's always like, you gotta be fast because it's wherever you hit a bad guy and they die, so... It's usually out in the open where you don't want to be. Ouch. So now I really gotta make a dash for it. So he can throw things telekinetically like I can, so... Also, your cover is not guaranteed to last. What happened? Like, there's been times I've been behind something and all of a sudden like, it gets destroyed. Salvador is supposed to be dead. There we go. It's like, I think the game may have glitched. It didn't.
Was Salvador the head of security? His team didn't stand a chance against the Hiss. No one here does. Okay, the TV. Another object of power gone nuts.
Here we go again.
Okay, just tell me about the anchor. Eh, they don't really use accuracy a whole lot. Levitate's awesome. Yeah. Also, if you tap it like before you hit the ground, you also slow your fall too, so like so. A new mission, melee tactics. Yeah, I know I beat that already. I gotta just hit a save point, I can collect it. I know things are a little hard to see, but it's just low settings kind of cause it. When you play this on higher graphical settings is a lot clearer.
Okay, dealt with the TV. Now I can find Dylan.
And you're looking for your brother named Dylan. you found when you were kids, you found this slide projector in the dump, and you and your friends decided to start playing with it and looking at it, and it, instead of like showing you slide pictures and stuff like that, it started opening up dimensional holes to like different places. And some of them were like kind of fun and nice, and then other ones are basically like bringing through mutants who start attacking their friends, turn one of them into a dog, all sorts of crazy stuff. So you escaped, but your brother Dylan did not. So you've been looking for him this entire time. And now you finally found him. Turns out these people actually had him. The Bureau of Control. Nice, they despawned. I'll take it. Actually, feels like there's something up here. Nope, nothing up here. Okay. Oh yes, the balloon that doesn't go flat. Somebody brought it in for like an office party. Like, hey, that's a nice little happy birthday balloon. And then they kind of noticed, like, after a couple days, it wasn't losing helium. And they couldn't pop it. They couldn't get it to go down. They're like, uh-oh, this is a altered item. We need to get it secure because we don't know what it can possibly do. Swan boat. Started throwing people around. It's kind of fun to read. So, like, these are all the items, like, you run through the game exploring, and you find these documents talking about these crazy events that happened, like a water cooler that, like, drowned somebody or something like that. And I think this one, for whatever reason, kept producing water that would never go down, so you could just, it was like infinite water supply. So then, like, you find out here later in the game that, oh, these are the items that you were reading about in these crazy redacted reports, and they're actually kept here and confined. Pardon me. Or they can't possibly hurt anybody or get out. Crowbar, possibly a Half-Life 2 reference, or 1.
Dylan.
And this is Dylan's cell, which is not going to be great. He has the same powers I do, but he's kind of gone crazy.
Hello? Can you hear me? Jesse.
Alright, Pope, where's your little thing at? I heard you.
Are you there?
Okay, it's
Jesse?
automatic. I was like
Emily?
looking for a communication
He's gone.
box.
Dylan isn't here. He might be nearby. Or maybe the hiss got to him. I don't know.
Jesse, listen. Dylan's here. With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different than the others. We must isolate him.
I'm on my way. We need to get back. I have to see my brother.
Okay, so he was prisoner here, of course, you know, they're going through, wakes up, gets out of bed, goes back to bed, eats lunch, uses the toilet, begins talking to self, becomes upset, throws lunch tray at glass, sedated, crew clean the cell, television's turned off, comes to, asks for television to be turned on, staff refuse, sleeps? Pretty certain this place turned into a fight. I guess not. I don't think I ever noticed that there was that box over here. Remote thought. I think that's one of the ones I needed to do a weapon upgrade with. Don't see anything else up here. Alright, let's get those abilities. Actually, let's get this countermeasure. Energy renewal. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. That seems to be brand new, because these are like issued to you, like your rewards are completely random. So, like, you know if it's going to be common or rare, but that's it, so... Abilities. Health really needs to come up. Yeah, it's just too low. It needs to go up higher, because you get smacked around quite a lot. Nope, I still need a house memory. Oh, so close to like getting an upgrade for just about everything I need.
You guys didn't bring like checkers or anything, did you?
Any app?
Let me know when the hiss are gone. I miss my desk.
Do you like working at the FBC?
Sure. I mean, yeah, the drama's a bit much, but I get better benefits here than I would over at the Postal Service. I checked. Better healthcare. That's not to say I don't like my job, ma'am. Been here over 15 years. No one knows the Panopticon collection better than me. I'm, close to them.
I can't tell if that's creepy or normal here.
How do you keep the altered items under control?
It depends on the item. Each one has different needs. Ritualistic touches go a long way. Singing to them,
Did he say
flipping the
singing?
lights 3 times, that sort of thing. It's not superstition if it works.
Yeah, this game universe, like, if you have like rituals or OCD problems, you're actually, it's a lot of the times it turns out it's not a mental problem. You're just more in tune with the alternate dimensions, and that's how a lot of these things are like pleased. Like, for example, the light cord, you need to get to the motel and to these alternate realms. You have to pull the cord 3 times, and then you have to ring the bell 3 times in the motel to get the right sequence to open. So it goes by rules of 3. And everything has those little touches to it, which I think is kind of fun.
What's the difference between objects of power and altered items?
Think of them like storms. Objects of power are like tropical cyclones or hurricanes for the uneducated. They're big, rare, and scary. Of course, directors can just bind the OOP and become the eye of the storm. Altered items are more like weird thunderstorms. Some may rain frogs, some may rain corn, but they all rain something.
And how does the hiss factor into all that?
It's changing them, making them aggressive. Now they're all raining, I don't know, knives. Knife rain.
Nice metaphor.
But never raining men. The Weather Girls have that cornered.
Did you work closely with Trench?
Oh, he spent most of his time with Darling and all them. The inner circle. Not that I care.
Trench certainly had his favorites.
He did stop in occasionally to scowl and smoke. Did you know the Bureau has a no smoking policy? It does. Just not for Trench. Still, he is the one who put aside funding for the Panopticon. The man did have vision.
How did you get this job?
Started as a junior agent because my uncle knew a guy. From there I got put on a desk until an accident left the containment sector severely understaffed. At which point I got bumped up to management. Put in a steady 8 hours a day for another 10 years and voila, supervisor.
I just picked up a gun. Or a gun picked me.
I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
Okay, so I was trying to do, like, the
Is this a good time to talk about hazard pay?
guy stuck upstairs looking at the fridge. I guess I have to go and speak with Emily and then come back here, which is
I'll see
crazy.
you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
And fast travel. Keep hitting the wrong button. Used to like start bringing up this stuff. In this game, it's like the select button instead. So I'm not gonna be able to get that power plant. So that mission's gonna fail. It's no biggie. What was the one I unlocked right now? Energy gain from headshots. Oh, okay, I've had this before in another playthrough. Damage while low on health.
Oh my god, did she have to write everything in her made-up gibberish code? I don't think I ever told you this, but I was actually on the path to being a ranger once. Did the whole boot camp thing. Even got rookie status. Anyway, not the point. My old Ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stoll, and Thompson. They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from the hiss.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want the hiss to get them. Could you find him for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish. And I won't let them stay hiss.
What's the deal with Blackrock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock. You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Love making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between departments.
Still, at least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
Salvador, the man I just
What do you know
murdered.
about Dr. Darling?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. He's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be?
You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response. Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
Like this, you work in this building that like connects to different dimensions. It shifts, it changes around. You see all sorts of weird things, and like you're most likely going to retire from like just going crazy. Like your brain just can't handle it anymore and breaks. Okay, sorry about that. I was crunching up a water bottle, and it didn't want to be crackling all over the stream when I did that. Okay, resume game. Thresholds.
How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her Rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. The lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it?
Do I even want to know?
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know.
What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing, though.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry.
So this should now basically open up some more missions, like try to find where she goes. I think that might happen after we beat the game, because even when you beat this game, there's still things to do afterwards. Like, so you can, you don't have to worry about doing everything ahead of time. So you beat the game, you can go back and finish missions you didn't do. They're non-main story related, so you can do the side missions and stuff. And one of them, on my other save file that I backed up before I started playing this on stream, because you can only have one file active. I hate it when games do that, was to try to find her.
I have to go.
Pardon me, she disappeared somewhere.
You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Yep, so I need to find Investigate the safe room with the anchor. Yeah, that's not going to be till later because I need more powerful upgrades. Fridge duty. I think maybe I just need to have that active, then it will start working. And Orisha's old squads. So yeah, the mission with Marshall, the head of the Rangers, isn't here active yet.
Resonance emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal I can arrange.
Speech analysis, they don't understand what the Hiss are saying, but they just repeat it constantly.
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late?
How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the Hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him.
My brother? Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful. Jesse, when you were down in research, did you run into a Dr. Rhea Underhill?
I didn't. Who is she?
She is a colleague of mine. A researcher studying a kind of extra-dimensional mold growing below research.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
No one does. Look, I haven't heard from Rhea since the Hiss arrived. Would you mind having a look around for her next time you're in research?
Of course.
Thanks, Jesse. Now, what's on your mind?
I visited the quarry. What's the plan for all that black rock?
The Bureau has used Blackrock almost exclusively for containment purposes. See, I say, branch out. Instead of boxes, helmets. Instead of blast shields, knives.
Knives?
Yes, knives! So many combat applications. Slicing, stabbing, gouging, or... Sorry. I've been trying to get Darling to explore combat applications for years. I got a little excited.
Wow. I did not expect that from her.
This place is looking good. Orisha's making real progress around here.
Right? This place is a fortress. And with him taking care of operations here, I can spend more time analyzing the Hiss. I've been attempting to isolate and neutralize the Hiss resonance in blood samples, but no luck so far.
So you can't reverse it?
Not yet, but perhaps reversing it is too simple. See, if Hiss resonance can rewrite human genetics, then perhaps it's a question of rewriting the Hiss resonance. In theory, that could pave the way for custom human genetic alteration.
I wonder how often the phrase mad scientist is used around here.
I should be going. Enjoy your data.
Oh, I will.
Okay, I think that will now finally let me do that mission I was trying to before I had to come here and talk to Emily.
Let me know when the hiss are gone. I miss my desk.
I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
Okay, so I remember, like, first time I played through, it was... like, you had to go down here and talk to him. He's like, oh, crap, like, I didn't know that, like, I forgot about that guy. He's been up there for, like, since this all started happening, for over a day. So it was like, alright, you're a terrible boss. Is it this way? No, it's the other way.
Keep your eyes open, Philip.
Hey, what can I do?
Oh, you're back. Oh, thank you, thank you. If I look away, I don't know what this thing will do. You have to get me out of here. The door can only be opened by the panopticon.
Okay, that's what I need to do.
Langston, if he's still around.
Langston. Yeah, I know him. I'll go ask him how to get you out.
Please hurry. My eyes, they can't.
Hey, calm down. Just focus. What's your name?
Focus. Right. My name's Philip, and I think I can hold on for a bit. It's just my eyes. My eyes hurt so much.
Just hang on, Philip. There's someone named Philip up in a cell. He's watching a refrigerator and very rapidly losing it.
Philip? Oh shit, I forgot about fridge duty. He's been in there for over a day, I totally forgot.
You forgot about him?
There's a lot going on. The hiss, the Benikoff TV. Considering the number of things I'm juggling, ma'am, I think it's...
Listen, it's fine. We just need to get him out of there. He said you'd be able to open the cell door?
Yeah, I can unlock it on my terminal. There. Done. Door open. But Philip can't just leave. The fridge is behaving erratically. Ocular contact is the only thing that seems to placate it. If we don't have someone in there watching it 24/7, people will die.
I'll figure something out. I'm pretty good with these things.
Being pretty good with altered items isn't standard bureau procedure, ma'am.
He doesn't know us very well. I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
Did it again? Ugh.
Hello? Jesse? The fridge is doing something!
Philip?
You can't save him. He always dies.
Philip?
If you look anywhere else but the fridge right now, you actually take damage.
If I look away, it hurts me. This sounds like the board, but I can't understand it.
There it is. Okay. Ground decided to give way. Perfect. This fight's a little annoying because it's one of those things where you just can't see where your ground is. You gotta focus on these things shooting orbs at you, and you don't always grab them either. Like, you try to, you'll be centered on it, hit the telekinetic throw button, and you'll just pick up a piece of rock instead.
Hello? Jesse? Jesse? The fridge is doing something!
Philip? Philip? If I look away, it hurts me.
This sounds like the board, but I can't understand it. What the fuck?
Hey, MMX. Yeah, are we speedrunning this? Not yet. Still doing casual play. Nope, not really. So I hate this fight. It's like, it's knocking out parts of the ground sometimes, you can't see it where it's knocked out. Did Mega Man X3, get to the final boss, and realized how much of a pain in the butt it was to beat it, so I played a YouTube video showing the actual ending. Because I didn't feel like just hitting my head against the wall for an hour trying to beat it. And then fired up Control for about the past half hour. That's good. Hopefully school went well tonight.
Hello? Jesse? The fridge is doing something!
So you missed my wonderful news about my streaming plans from now on. Is that I plan on tomorrow doing a Bayonetta 2 speedrun. And because I'm having my medication, my pain med's upped, starting the 9th. Should be able to do more runs of that in the future, which would be great, because I want to get back to doing Bayonetta 2 again. And the other game I'm planning on playing on stream is Grand Theft Auto 5. A PC version which runs at a wonderful 60 frames per second. I haven't played that game. I have it for the PlayStation 3, but I haven't played it probably since it came out. I 100%'d it on the PlayStation 3. It was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, you fight him a couple more times. You fight him at least another time or so. Get down, come on. So close to beating this guy. It's such a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's never really explained what this thing is. It just, you know, it's like an enemy threat inside the astral plane, like where you meet the directors, you know, usually in the upside down pyramid, which to anybody joining this game who's never played Control is like, what are you talking about? You sound like you're schizophrenic. But so it's some kind of entity that the people have run into before. You saw a picture of it earlier. Give it one more shot.
Hello? Jesse? The fridge is doing something!
Philip? Philip? If I look away, it hurts me.
Basically, T-Walls, your problem is you're not hitting the raid button. Like, when you type in, like, /raid and then the person's name, it brings up, usually up above, like, the chat room itself, it should say, it'd be like a purple bar saying, like, you know, raid or leave. So when you end your stream, just click on the button to raid and it'll switch everything through. I actually sent you a whisper about it, so that way you know how to do it in the future.
Word, but I can't understand.
That's the biggest problem, like, you're like, let's raid, and then it's like, well, it's been like 20 minutes. It's like... Yeah, this is what I hate about this fight. Sometimes you don't grab onto what you need. Except for when it's doing this, it's also taking up parts of the floor that you need to stand on. And then other times it just refuses to grab what you need. Like you're trying to actually like grab on and throw those things back and the game's like, nope, no can do. Okay, it's finally dead.
Wait, there's no Black Pyramid here.
Kind of. Except for it's not as accurate,
The
so...
search seems fixed. Did fighting that thing off change something?
Yep, I can now look around and not have it kill me. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, this fight. I mean, it's always a big battle with health. You never have enough health in this game, just about.
How'd it go? Where's Philip?
Philip's gone. Something happened before I could get him out.
Something in the fridge ate him.
Poor Philip.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mario Galaxy was a game I could not play.
But if you're here,
You know, like,
Then
the
who's watching
waggle,
the
this is
fridge?
why I hated the Wii. The waggle
fridge is
controls,
fine.
motion controls suck when you have
I took care of it.
fibromyalgia as bad as I do.
you don't just
Because even just, like,
take care
slowly
of
moving your
altered
wrist around and
items.
waggling like that took it out of me. So I could
I
only play the
touched
game
it.
like 10 minutes at a
Wound up in
time.
the astral plane. This thing was in there. It was huge, had one big eye. Wasn't friendly.
We've been getting reports from the astronauts.
Getting reports of a
about
one-eyed
something fitting that
monster.
Description. The astral plane is usually connected to our world through objects of power, not altered items. If this thing is linking itself to altered items, then it's clearly powerful. This may happen again.
Do you think
Yeah, it's
that
like, good
thing-
lord. Like, get all the gems and everything unlocked.
Must
I
have
think you
been.
can unlock Luigi in that game.
Panopticon
It's
is a
like,
dangerous
nope, not for me.
place. The agents all know
If
the
you even
risks.
tried it on emulator, which you can
But
basically
since
use
you're
the
some sort of
mouse
altered item
as like the
whisperer, I've
Wiimote.
got a list of others
I actually have a
for you.
Bluetooth adapter and a wireless sensor bar, so I can actually use a Wiimote controller on Dolphin if I wanted to, but even doing that wears me out.
Any others missing while you're gone? My life just got a whole lot easier.
So basically he's asking, it's like, hey, there's a whole bunch of things that escaped that we need you to go bring
I'll
back.
see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
At least, though, I mean, she's definitely motion captured, and a lot of these other people are too. But she has, like, Jessie, your main character, has a lot more to her, you know, in the detail department. But yeah, the problem with LA Noire is that it was just like they had to deliver all their lines and not move. So you have like these weird facial animations on these like puppet rigs that they animated by hand. It just doesn't look right. Let's see. Launch damage. This takes 3. It was like so weird. It's like, why? Ooh, headshot damage 63. Hello, that's good. Keep the damage on for now. I really need to, like... I'm like one part away for everything I need to like upgrade any of my weapons. It's like missing one hidden trend. Well, this one needs a lot more remote thoughts to do shatter, but I don't care about the shatter. It's not my favorite weapon. One more corrupted sample, and one more house memory I can upgrade just about all my weapons I need. Yes. What I did like about LA Noire, though, is they actually, you know, Cole actually spoke, like, he spoke Japanese. He knew, like, Cole Phelps knew Japanese and everything else like that, which is kind of fun and very unusual for, you know, the 40s. But they actually did point out, like, he has a flashback to World War II. He's talking to friends like, the Japs, you know, they're attacking. They're just a bunch of savages who attacked other people. He's like, we cut off their oil supply. What do you think would happen? And that's exactly what happened. The United States at the time, leading up to World War II with Japan, had cut off all their oil supply in response to them constantly invading other countries, the Philippines, and so forth. So they were running out of oil. So it wasn't kind of too much of a surprise that like they started lashing out and eventually attacked us. Because they saw us the aggressor and they thought we'd just kind of back down and go, oh, sorry, you know, we'll reverse this, what we're doing, and let you guys do what you want. And that wasn't the response that happened. Give me a second here. I'm actually looking something up. I had to untangle a little twist in my headphones. So that's something that doesn't really come up a whole lot in history, and it was kind of cool to say I actually brought that up in, you know, LA Noire of all places. If you want to see a video on like how screwed up that development was, watch that sometime. It is by Matt McMuscles, and it's really good. It goes into like, it's 25 minutes long. It goes into whole like how LA Noire was made kind of, and all the problems which, you know, led to become a major issue, and the studio closing and all their fun stuff. Alright, so I need to go back to Central Executive. Actually, now I have the float ability, I can actually open up even more missions to do. Yeah, I like his like a What Happened series. It's a lot of fun to kind of find out what happened behind the scenes of games that are usually pretty bad or flopped. His latest one was on Superman 64.
Oh my god, did she have to write everything in a made-up gibberish code? Fucking Marshall with her CIA spy shit, god.
Apparently the director restored HRA production. They're already getting other.
Did you see that hiss they marched through here? Why the fuck didn't we put a bullet in that thing's head?
'Cause that thing's my brother. Sticky note complained. Who may concern, in case you're not aware, something caused a sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is unusable now. I'll be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell or home phone. Yeah, I think that that's kind of a problem. Somebody should probably investigate. Just saying. Well, they did end up doing a Superman game and for the Xbox 360, which is kind of weird when you think about like how Superman was like far too overpowered to begin with, so they find inventive ways for him to get like basically get injured. But yeah, they talk about all the development problems that they had at the time, and surprisingly, it's like a lot of the changes what they originally wanted the game to be, actually didn't sound too bad. I think it's just back to the director's office. Now I'm hearing hiss, so I'm trying to remember where I need to go to find my brother. But it's true that like the original idea for Superman 64 was not that bad, but then it became like this huge problem with the studios like kind of getting involved and screwing things around. Big surprise. We're back here. See, unfortunately, the map is a big problem in this game. It's like, yeah, here you go. Find your brother. He's around here somewhere. Executive Central Directive. It's like, maybe you could like highlight it where I'm supposed to go on the map. That might be helpful. Probably a lot.
Marshall abandoned us.
I would say Superman 64. Aquaman Battle for Atlantis is pretty bad. No one's going to dispute that. Unless you're some kind of crazy Aquaman fan. But it's, I would say Superman 64 is far worse. It doesn't control well, it's just all over the place. Alright, here's my brother. He seems very normal.
You are a worm through time. The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your inside.
I think Aquaman Battle for Atlantis came out for GameCube?
You've always been a new you. You want us to control. We stand around you while you train. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunder's home.
Yeah, let's speak with the obviously schizophrenic, hiss-infested brother. Hey bro, what's up?
Shit. That's Dylan. Can you hear me? Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here. I found you. Do you know who
It was
I
actually a
am?
game I rented just out of curiosity. I heard it was bad, but it was like, okay, it's playable, but it's bad. Superman 64 is borderline unplayable.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign. Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to be
stop
true.
that? Please? Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say
Yeah,
them too?
Superman 64 was actually a speedrun.
Fuck off, no.
I think like last year at one of the
You need to help me get this
GDQs.
thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only true. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small, in Ordinary, in the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
It's like, what type of school did you go to, T. Wallace? I mean, I went to school in Missouri for a little bit. I mean, that was pretty bad, but...
The Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss. Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
Well, sweet and sour sauce is unfortunately usually made with ketchup for a lot of places.
The horrible truth about the Bureau.
Although it's traditionally been made with like a tomato paste. Yeah, so you make it from scratch. A lot of times people use ketchup. A lot of fast food restaurants still use ketchup as well. For like Chinese places, so if you like it, knock yourself out.
Bullshit. I saw what.
For me, I don't touch the stuff.
What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go.
Mostly because I don't like ketchup,
but
so.
Only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time.
1 second here. So I know it's more of like a Cantonese dish, but there is actually what was it? Gobao Yao is like it's like the more kind of like like mainland version of it. And I remember there was like a more like traditional way to do it. Because I remember it involved like something like tomato paste instead. Tomato's not really native Chinese dish, so like native to China to begin with. So it was kind of like it's one of those things that was more like when the British brought it over into the South, like into like the Hong Kong region and so forth. It's when they started kind of getting ketchup in, like not ketchup but tomatoes, and it did spread in some further places. Like there is a like kind of like a Chinese breakfast dish, which is kind of popular all throughout China. It's like eggs. It's like scrambled eggs with a little bit of chopped up tomatoes, green onions, and some sesame oil. It's pretty tasty. Yeah, mafu tofu is not bad. It's pretty good stuff, but there's a lot of good recipes online you can find to make that. But just do not use like soft or silken tofu, or it's just going to be a nightmare.
People normally.
All right, here we go. So I found it there. Let's see. Okay, so that's what I was trying to think of, like what the original one was. So the original one, actually, like a sweet and sour, didn't use ketchup as I mentioned here. It was actually like a sweetened black vinegar, which black vinegar is completely different from white vinegar. It's kind of like almost like a soy sauce like, and it's got more bite to it, but it's not like that pungent slap you in the face vinegar stuff.
Dylan.
I think I've never gone back to talk to him before, so I'm like, oh, let's do that now. But basically, instead of using like
I'd like to tell you
ketchup in the recipe, you just use the black vinegar instead in place for the ketchup. You get like the more traditional mainland style, like Szechuan style.
I was back in Ordinary before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just
black vinegar, not balsamic. Completely different.
I was the only child. A girl.
And it can vary completely.
My name was Jesse Dylan.
Like you can get some really good ones, and then some are just like god awful. So
but then the bureau came.
You can usually find it in some supermarkets if they have a decent Asian section. Like we have Wegmans. They have some black vinegar. It's not the best. When I lived in Tucson, there's a place on near 22nd and Swan down in Tucson called G&L Imports.
Boys' names.
And they were my go-to place for Asian markets, and I miss that store. It had lots of things that were just dirt cheap. You could buy a big giant bottle of like Lee Kum Kee oyster sauce, which would have cost like $20 for the big large one. You could buy it for like $5 there, and they had like a really good black vinegar that you can almost like drink it like water almost. Yeah, that's balsamic vinegar is what you're thinking about. It's like it's a reduction. But black vinegar, Chinese black vinegar, is different from other vinegars. Because I do not like vinegar at all. It's one of the things that I just do not stand and don't put up with. It's like, I find it really gross. The smell annoys me because I have like a dog nose, so it's just like overwhelming. So I usually, when I cook, I don't use vinegar at all. If I have to, if it's a recipe that requires it, it's like very small and very minimal amount. So, but yeah, black vinegar is, it's more like almost like a soy sauce with a little more like kick to it. It's actually like spicy versus like the sourness, which is kind of different. Yeah, salt and vinegar chips, not me. Not at all. And I know people love that stuff, and I'm like, get that away from me. It's like, do not bring it close to me, so I need to get the containment. Okay, logistics is the closest. Yeah, I do not like salt and vinegar. Like vinegar, anything pretty much I do not like. Like even when I make, like the other day I made yesterday actually I made General Tso's chicken for dinner for the family. Like, can you make that for us? I'm like, sure, no problem. Had the chicken thighs, cut them all up, deboned them, all that fun stuff. And for the sauce I make with it, it's pretty simple. I mean, what I do is, like, whatever you do, you can just make it up there. Like, if you're making, like, 2 pounds of the stuff, I usually use, like, 2/3 cups. So I'll use, like, 2/3 cups soy sauce, which is a lot of soy sauce, 2/3 cup sugar, 2/3 cup of chicken stock to help cut it. And then if you want it, like, really super strong and vinegary, I would still say, like, maybe about 1/4 of a cup of vinegar at that point. Then add in garlic, some ginger into it, and cornstarch, so it all thickens up, and just whisk it around, get it all set. So when you're done frying your chicken pieces, just throw that sauce into the wok. It'll thicken up from the cornstarch, and you have a pretty reasonable, General Tso's chicken sauce to it. And if you can get some Japanese peppers, like I can't remember what the actual pepper is called, that you can put them in there, like you get at the restaurants. Like you can either throw red pepper in or any other dried chili into it to get that really spicy flavor to it. Barbecue chip, I love. Those are really good. And MSG is great, which really cracks me up when people are like, oh, I eat Chinese food and I get a headache and I'm sensitive to MSG, and they don't realize that it's in almost everything you eat has MSG in it. It's crazy. That umami stuff, it's found naturally in nature and other things, and like, oh, I don't eat Chinese food, it gives me a headache, but then they go to like fast food and it's like they'll get McDonald's and like that's got MSG in it. KFC has MSG. They've admitted that it's one of our secret spices, herbs and spices, and it makes food taste better. It really does. All right, so I need to get to, let's go forward. I can fly. Let's change around my weapons. Pierce. Let's put on the charge. I love the charge. It's the same thing. People are like, oh, tryptophan in turkey knocks you out. It's like there's more tryptophan in a slice of pizza than there is a turkey. It's like everyone has these like perceived like food notions, which are just almost always completely wrong. But they still prevail. So I need to get upstairs. Yeah, exactly, and that's the whole thing. It's like, if you don't like it, learn how to cook it yourself. It's not too hard. I am proof of that. White guy can cook Chinese food, and does. Now, to get a little X-rated here, there's like a very simple philosophy on life that Robert Rodriguez talked about, and I fully endorse it. It's like there's two things in life that you should be really good at doing. You should be really good at cooking and fucking, because you gotta eat the rest of your life, and two, you should be doing the other one as well. So it's like, and that's like pretty much my philosophy on life. Get good at those two things, you got it made. Yeah, Master Chef, that was an experience and a half. Ooh, Bureau video. The oldest house. Let's watch. Oh yeah, PG stream out the window. But yeah, that's like my literal philosophy on life. Is like
August 4th, 1964.
Is like, it's literally that. It's like you should be good at cooking, and the other thing I mentioned as well, it's like, is you should be doing the two of those things for the rest of your life. You gotta eat, and you should be doing the other one for fun or procreation or whatever you want to do. Shouldn't be bad at either one of those things, and I'm sure Rachel Ray is.
We discovered the oldest house.
Okay, it's freaking out. Let's try it again. Sometimes it does that with the video. There we go.
August 4th, 1964. We discovered the oldest house while investigating a suspected altered world event case in the New York City subway tunnels. The agents found their way up into the building. Once we became aware of it, it was there. For the rest of the population, it was hiding in plain sight. A slippery blind spot, seemingly discouraging observation. It's a place of power. an ongoing AWE of its own, seemingly adhering to its physical outer constraints and yet constantly breaking the known boundaries of reality. It's unstable, shifting. Note, for more details on control points and the research and process to stabilize and secure the core sectors, refer to a separate presentation. After extensive research and investigation, the Bureau made the building its headquarters on November 13th, 1968. The Federal Bureau of Control was never out in the open. This was always an obfuscated, classified top-secret operation. So imagine our surprise when the building's observation-resistant aspects began in some unquantifiable way to affect the Bureau as a whole.
I just love the logic, like, yeah, we're inside this weird place, we don't understand how it works. Let's move in and make it our base of operations. It's like, probably not the best idea, but that's what they did. Pierced aimed fire boost. Damage while aiming. Oh yes, I had that one before. That is a really good one to have. Pierce. It's like if you're aiming your weapon, which you do, your damage goes up by 37%. It's like that's a no duh thing to have equipped. But as for the other problem there, T. Wallace, everything can be learned. Start reading, save it in your memory, and apply it when you can. I am not heading the right way. Where am I supposed to be? So it's funny, this is like my second playthrough of this game and you still get lost. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's where I need to go. Over here. Nope. Good job. You're fired. Mirror supplement. Oh yes, the mirror room. Ugh. Yes, video tutorials for some can be educational in nature. Reading helps, other things there too. A couple things I picked up on my world travels, which my previous girlfriends have always been quite surprised. They're like, where did you learn how to do all this? It's like, I read and then picked up a couple things from a couple different countries. How they do things and what they do. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'll steal it. Sniper. No sniping. Except for when that happens. There. There, so now they will stop healing. Yeah, Dr. Ruth probably would ignore her, to be honest. They're ones I'll whisper you about later. ones that might be helpful. In order for me to not get Twitch banned by saying, here, look up this thing, specifically regarding this device, you know, or this thing. It's like, yeah. Sir, I need you to come back. Thank you. On my other main file for this game, I had one that was like headshots do like 57, no, it was like 95% more damage. It was something crazy, like really high number. Yes, she's also very old and probably hasn't done what we're talking about in very loose terms for probably many, many centuries at this point. Now everyone's dead. Good. So your brother is P6. I am P7. They wanted me to originally be the director, by the candidates before, but I escaped. They caught my brother. So he's like, so my brother, when I was talking earlier, talking about black vinegar, he's like, yeah, you know, you might want to go learn about yourself.
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see? It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector.
They've been following me for a while, it seems. Movement tracking. Cheyenne, Sydney, Des Moines, Iowa, Chicago, South Bend, Indiana. Been there before. It's blah. Cleveland, Ohio. The Detroit of Cleveland. Yeah, the Detroit of Ohio. Bloomsburg, New York City.
All the times I felt paranoid, I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
So they've been following me for quite some time. So, there we go.
We used to play there all the time. Me and Dylan, and other kids as well. We loved it. This time, I remember, was different. We found a way in, deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went inside, and that's where we found the slide projector.
A dump is a place for lost things. Things that have been thrown away.
Yep, other kids. I'll explain in a minute.
Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What? No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
No.
No, not really. Not the short bus
Those
type.
were before your time, I suppose. But your family did look at photos together, maybe.
Psychiatrist is like working with
maybe
the FBC to basically try to make it seem like, oh, you're just crazy. You didn't remember it. You didn't see a slide projector that opened up portals to other worlds.
How did it make you feel? Did your parents ever show pictures that embarrassed you? Was alcohol ever involved at these parties? Did your parents drink? Did that make you uncomfortable?
No, that's just stupid. Come on. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing. The slide projector...
Let me ask you this. As a child, did you ever fantasize about worlds inside pictures? Inside a painting? You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know.
So basically, as a kid, like the story's going on here, like Jessie and her brother Dylan were at the city dump. They lived in a place called Ordinary. So they found the slide projector there at the dump, took it home, or like to this other place there and turned it on, and all the slides opened up dimensional portals to other places. Some of them were really fun, like it were just like a blank room, or just other places they explored and went, okay, that's kind of weird. And then like some other kids found out about it and started playing with the projector as well, and that's when everything broke loose, because apparently they went to a wrong slide somewhere and started bringing through like interdimensional beings. Like one of them turned one of the kids into like a dog monster, and then other things started attacking them. So it was like, so Jessie managed to like burn. I think she set fire to the projector like after Polaris had gotten into her head and like said, "Hey, I'm trying to help you. We need to stop these slide projectors because the hiss. It wasn't the hiss at the time, but there's a threat that can come through and kill everything in your world. I'm trying to stop that." So Jessie sets fire to the slide projector. Then the Federal Bureau of Control shows up, and like she tries to grab you as well. They grab Dylan, but you escape as Jessie. So you spent like the last 10 years or so trying to find your brother and what happened to him. And it turns out the Bureau had him and said, "Hey, you got special abilities. We can tell already. Like, you know, you could be possibly the future director." Except for he was like, he let the hiss had infected him very early, so he was just like, he's not cooperative, killed a couple people, so forth. So then they started looking for me as the replacement.
Things had gone differently in Ordinary for us.
So I was like the backup plan, which I ended up being the director anyway.
Ordinary. So much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before. I mean, coming from me, that's saying something. And the boy, Dylan Faden, prime candidate 6, and the sister as well. Once we catch up with her, but the boy, that's so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here, and I don't want to invoke his name, but it's completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable. There was an incident. Yes. We lost a valuable member of our team, yes. Excessive force. Dylan has so much. But he's just a kid. Like, I'll take the blame. He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys.
Except for they murder somebody.
He's exceptional and under a lot of stress. Robert's got killed. It's an unfortunate accident, that's all. Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
But wishing won't change things. Finding the projector will.
So much coming together in this one case.
Should be the video we just watched. Yep, okay. So let's see, I need to get to research and mirror testing. Mirror is kind of a pain in the butt, because it's a fight, but it's not too bad. Just kind of drawn out. I think I'm about to trigger another fight here in a second. Kind of like that. What I really like, the best way for me to describe it is like the show Fringe that was on Fox, which is pretty good actually. I enjoyed that show a lot, even though like everything got really wasn't consistent among the different writers. Research, mirror testing, but it's kind of like the closest. Like this is definitely closest to that. Where like all these like weird, crazy things are happening, like dimensional portals and so forth. And except for in the show Fringe, it was actually a super secret division of the FBI that was handling things like that and keeping it quiet. Whereas this, it's like a humongous operation, lots of people involved. Whereas like the Fringe unit in the show Fringe was like 6 or 7 people tops. Fringe really opened up in its second season because the first one's kind of setting everything up. It takes a while for that season, but the second one's really cool because they go to an alternate dimension, like an alternate reality, where it's like 9/11 still happened, but the Twin Towers didn't get hit. It was the White House instead. So the towers still exist in that reality, but they're also about 40 years more advanced than we are in our current reality, which is kind of cool. Okay, research. I need to get to synchronicity. I'm not sure where that's at. We're going to try to find it, though. Let's go downstairs first, because now I can do this safely. So this is where all the mold is coming from down here. It's a power cube.
Careful in there, ma'am. Area's under quarantine. I wouldn't go in there without talking to Underhill first.
Excuse me? Are you lost?
She's kind of a jerk.
Do you normally barge into people's private workspaces?
She clearly doesn't know who she's talking to. Shouldn't you be in a safe room?
Why? Because of those hiss things the Rangers keep going on about. Haven't you people sorted that out yet? The situation down here could spell doom for the Bureau.
You mean this mold?
Correct. Perhaps you could help me. I require samples of various mold strains, and the mold has made the environment far too dangerous for me to fetch them myself.
Really? Mold samples? I thought this could spell doom.
It could, and it will, whoever you are. The mold is spreading. We need to find the source before it spreads too far.
And these samples will do that?
No. Samples of 5 unique strains, when blended properly, will allow you to travel deeper into the pit where I've pinpointed the approximate location of the source of the mold.
Okay. So what do these samples look like?
Similar to the one on my table there. I've made a list of the samples I need. Here. You'll find them throughout the threshold.
I'll take a look. My name's Jessie, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
Have you worked with Emily Pope?
Our paths have crossed. Darling arranged for us to have a coffee. A meeting of the minds, he called it. She's talented. I can certainly see her doing well here.
I feel like there's a but coming.
But she's drunk a bit too much of the Bureau's proverbial Kool-Aid. She shouldn't be afraid to forge ahead on her own. Science is skepticism. Everything must be questioned before the truth can emerge.
The mold seems to be having some weird effects on things.
Indeed. Even people are susceptible. The fungus grows rapidly within the chest cavity, killing the host. Luckily, one must ingest the stalks to become infected.
Don't eat the mold. Okay.
We've always cremated the infected bodies after autopsy, but I believe there may be another stage of maturity. a blooming, if you will.
I never thought the word blooming would sound so horrible.
Thanks for the information.
That's the important stuff. The other thing is she's like, oh, I'm smarter than Darling ever was. You know, the scientist guy we keep seeing. And then the other one was just basically she talks about herself like, went to so-and-so school and so forth.
It smells so sweet down here. Suddenly I'm really hungry.
Now,
I wonder how this mold tastes.
Yeah, remember she said like you have to eat it in order to get infected. So apparently it makes it smell like really good, like it's something delicious to eat, which you don't want to do, because then you're gonna end up like these people. Fight for my amusement. Go! Good job.
Are those people?
You gotta be really careful because these guys can actually kill you like really quickly. Save point. I think I can upgrade one of my guns here now too. It seemed like I grabbed something. Astral constructs. Yes, okay, great. Grade the grip. And the spin. So now they will be much stronger. I like to have my guns in a certain order, so now I can put on another mod. Let's see. Levitating, never use that one because you don't shoot from the air because it's not that great. Headshot damage, 63%. Yes, this is the one where you really want to have that on here because this is high precision. Spin accuracy, you really want that on there. Let's see what else we got. Rate of fire. Against enemy armor, that's pretty good. Alright, and that's saved, so that's good. And for now, though, end the stream for today. So definitely want to thank everybody for hanging out. Of course, T. Wallace, MMX, and Patrick Tam, who came by. I haven't seen Pat in a while, so it's always good for him to drop by. And Ronnie also showed up as well, so it's pretty good. Yeah, sorry about that, MMX, but you know it is. It's almost midnight here where I'm at. Hands are all stiff and so forth. But fret not, I will be back tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know when that is, just type into Google, it will tell you. And the plan is to do a Bayonetta 2 speedrun or two. So I haven't done that in a while. It's going to be a full speedrun. I'm going to be rusty, so it's probably not going to be any world records. Since I got them pretty close so far, but I just want to play that game again. It'll be a lot of fun. So that's the plan tomorrow, is to do Bayonetta 2 speedruns. Then after that, still plan on playing Control here and there, slowly and surely, but I'm also going to start playing, what is it here, Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC, which is the best way to play it. It's 60 frames per second, looks amazing. That's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that game. Good story plot and just so many things to do. So you can also check me out on Twitter at Worsel555. I usually post up there what I'll be streaming or if I need to cancel, which has happened before. I think it was a couple days ago I actually had to type in there like I was just too beat up and tired, to the stream. So I was like, okay, I gotta. It's actually used yesterday. I had to stop and think about that. Yeah, yesterday I was just too beat up and too much in pain. So typed in there on Twitter, let everybody know what's going on. Even today had a little delay, so I had to put it in there too. So good way if you feel like coming back or follow the channel already, see what's going on. Let's see, is there anybody streaming worth watching? Let's just raid over to Maximilian dude. Pretty positive guy. A lot of not safe for work language, but he does fighting games and other fun stuff. He's a lot of fun to watch, so I do enjoy that. So thank you so much for hanging out, and as I mentioned, I will be back tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. See y'all later.